Job was a remarkable man. He was blameless and upright. Job revered God and avoided evil. God showered Job with immense blessings. He had abundant flocks and herds. Job was blessed with a large family. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. Job was deeply grateful for God's blessings. He offered sacrifices and prayed for his children. Job was a shining beacon of faith. Job lived in a time when people felt close to God. They trusted in his goodness and followed his commands. Job's life was a testament to unwavering faith. He lived a life that pleased God. Job's story reminds us that God abundantly blesses those who are faithful. Even in trials, we can trust that God is with us. He will never leave us nor forsake us. One day, Satan appeared before God. Satan challenged God about Job's faith. "Does Job fear you for nothing?" he asked. Satan claimed that Job was only faithful because God protected him. He suggested that Job would curse God if he lost everything. God allowed Satan to test Job. He placed limits on what Satan could do. Satan could not harm Job physically, but he could take away everything else. Tragedy struck Job with devastating swiftness. First he lost his oxen and donkeys to raiders. Then fire from heaven consumed his sheep and servants. Next a powerful wind destroyed his house, killing all his children inside. Job was left with nothing but his own life and his unwavering faith in God. Through every trial, Job's faith remained steadfast, a beacon of hope and resilience. Job was heartbroken. He tore his clothes and shaved his head in mourning. He sat in ashes and wept bitterly. But Job did not curse God. "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away," he said. "Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job's wife urged him to curse God and die. She was overwhelmed with grief. But Job refused. "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" he asked her. 3 friends came to comfort Job. They sat with him in silence for 7 days and nights. When they finally spoke, they questioned Job's righteousness. They believed that his suffering was punishment for sin. Job defended his innocence. He questioned God's justice. He cried out in anguish, longing to understand why he was suffering. Yet through it all, Job's faith remained unshaken, a beacon of hope and resilience. Finally, God answered Job out of a whirlwind. He questioned Job's understanding of creation. He reminded Job of his power and wisdom. Job was humbled. He realized that he was a finite being in the presence of an infinite God. Job repented of his questioning. He acknowledged God's sovereignty. "I know that you can do all things," he said. "No purpose of yours can be thwarted." God was pleased with Job's response. He rebuked Job's friends for their accusations. He commanded them to offer sacrifices. And most importantly, God restored Job's fortunes. God gave Job twice as much as he had before. He blessed him with 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. Job also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He lived a long and prosperous life surrounded by his family and loved ones. Job's story is a triumphant inspiration to us all. It teaches us that even in the darkest of times we can trust in God's goodness and faithfulness. When we are faithful, God will be faithful to us, even when we don't understand His ways.